CNN News Live is brought to you by Commerce University. Commerce University is a full-service publishing company for self-publishing authors. Visit www.commerceuniversity.com. This show is sponsored by Bitter Lemon Carnival. Make Caravana 2011 a memorable one. Play Mass with Bitter Lemon Carnival. For more information, visit www.bitterlemonmass.com or call 416-561-0988.
Watch my face, I vex. See my face? I vex. I vex, I sad, I frightened, I vex again, I confused, and I get me still more vex. On April 30th, I see a headline in the Trinidad and Tobago Sunday Express. Since then, my mouth open, catching flies. It's a non-story by Akil Simon. Akil, you don't mind if I call your name, eh? I mean, you write it at the top of the story. So as a journalist, you don't know you ain't no private citizen again, right? Akil, I'm giving you full marks for writing a long epistle and saying nothing. I never know how to get that done, huh? You? No, me either. So I'm using yours as a blueprint. In fact, when I write non-stories, my publishers and editors just dash it back on my desk and ask me what kind of caca-blem I write. But somehow you managed to not only write this, but your editor managed to agree with you that it should run in the papers. Here your headline. Sex offender teacher busted by his pupil. Now, when I read a headline like that, as a mother, all my picky hair that scratch my scalp, blood does rush up in my head, paws raise, and I just haul in my children inside, and every door and window in my psyche does shut, blam, 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 and it's only peeping through the jealousy. Akil, is you or is you isn't a parent? I just asking. Hear what you write and tell me. Pupils at an all-girl prestige high school busted a biology teacher who took up duties last week, revealing that he was convicted in the United States a few years ago on charges of sexually assaulting 5 of his female pupils. Alright, let me dissect your non-story. You busy telling me it's a prestige school as if children in other schools they need a headline too. You're playing up in your pooch right there. But you went from glorious height to glorious height. Hear you. The sex offender managed to slip through the cracks and landed himself a temporary job at the prestige school. You like that word prestige, eh? After a female biology teacher went on maternity leave. He was hired for a 3-month period after he was interviewed, and the school's management was very impressed with his credentials. So, the school management get this resume how? They advertise in the Sunday Express, they get an employment agency, they get a referral, the resume suddenly appear on somebody's desk, or they had a sign on the school gate marked, Tom, Dick, Harry, apply here to teach in this prestige school. Now, if it was a referral, I hope you investigate that person too, yeah? While the school management was busy swooning over the impressive credential, did anybody pick up the phone and call a reference, call a previous employer? Or was the phone line down and you couldn't get an overseas call through? Nobody didn't have cell phone, Skype, MSN, Yahoo, email, Gmail, Hotmail, live mail? No? The school teacher, who was 32 but was 25 when the offenses were committed, according to the New York Times, was convicted and sent to jail for 4 years. Let me continue. The teacher was deported back to Trinidad after serving his sentence in a Manhattan jail and was busted by a Form 1 pupil at the prestige school. The student printed some of the documents and took them to the principal, who did her own search after summoning the teacher to her office. He was told his services were no longer required and escorted out of the school's compound by the principal. Darling child, what made you decide to Google the teacher? You was bored in computer class one day and decided to type in your name, or you find him cute so you want to see he was married, or you didn't like the way he was watching you. But principal, thank you for taking that man out of your school. I thank you very much on behalf of all teachers worldwide. But since you have your computer on now, could you please check all the teachers in your school? Thank you. In his last note on his website, the teacher said, the exam on Monday will contain material on only female reproductive system and associated material. Boy, I can imagine you and your Woody was enjoying that class, huh? And the teacher was also a soccer coach in the school. Akil, all of this, and not once you tell me who this man is. So I do like the child, and I went online and I looked to see. I'm not going to call the school name because I don't feel the whole school should face ridicule for the slackness and jackassery that the hiring authorities do. But all you better hold up your socks. Don't do this again. Mr. Richard Alley, you is a stink, disgusting dirtiness. Yes, you hear me right. I call your name. I pronounce it right. Richard Alley. I over 18, so you don't want to rub up on me. But boy, if I didn't have in my plate, I would add some adjectives to your name. You don't know Trinidadians is getting mesmerized by foreign anything, so you must be waltzing in the girls' school to see who child you could interfere with. You must be put on all kind of New York this and Manhattan that, but leave out your prison number and deportation statement. Where you working now? Girl Guides? You open a daycare? You running a maxi taxi? Some people say it have plenty like you in school as if that could give you a pass. And next one say, how just because you do it once, it don't mean you go do it again. But he ain't do it once. It's 5 girl children he interfere with. Once is a mistake. 5 is a lifetime habit. Boy, until I hear you cut it off, I keeping my ear open for your name. People like you is a fetid stink hole in the humanity highway. I done talk.